Looks like some strange things are afoot as Kabam have hired a brand new COO. What does this mean for the game? Has Mr. Fantastic been secretly changed? We investigate. The game went down on Friday and lots of people panicked, and we have arena results and predictions. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. We certainly have a jam-packed show for you today, so make sure to hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all. That would be very helpful. Thank you all. And as per usual, massive thank you to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a patron. You're on screen now. Thank you so much, especially during these tough times at the start of the year. Thank you very much for that support. And also on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I do hope to be live streaming tonight. I really do, but I do have some tight deadlines for things that I've got to deliver. But we shall see. If not, it could be a main YouTube channel stream. But thanks very much to those that support on Twitch. You're on screen now, and I'll see you maybe soon. Right, everybody, put on your Deer Stalker because we are doing some Sherlock Holmes. We're going to Scooby-Doo this crap. And we do indeed. Doody-doo-doo-doody-doo-doo. God damn it, what's wrong with me? Okay, so let's kind of explain this. So we've got pre-fight abilities, as you know, when it comes to Mr. Fantastic. And the potency of which, you can see on screen. So this is in-game at the moment. This is taken from in-game. So prepared for anything pre-fight debuffs, max 3, inflict a petrify of 15% potency, suppress the opponent, which decreases their combat power rate by 10%, and debuff aside from the opponent, decreasing the opponent potency of damage over time on them by 10%, reducing the potency of those effects on allies. Now, the big thing being pointed out here is that the interaction in game seems like, and I may do a separate video of this testing out to see like if it does feel. I don't know, like Kabam would say, oh, well, this game isn't based on feel. Yeah, well, here's the thing. We don't actually have any numbers up on screen to say, oh, I'm testing out my Mr. Fantastic here. Oh, it says I've got a debuff on there. It does. Does it say 15% on it? No, it doesn't. So you have to say feel, unfortunately, Kabam. Otherwise, change it so you can see every single little bit of number that is an interactional bit from debuffs right the way through to other things, ability accuracy reduction, whatever. And then we can go, oh, we can't use the word feel. So unfortunately, Kabam, the answer to this is we have to feel because we don't know the actual percentage on screen with the interaction. Again, rant over and then back to the core subject. The core subject of this, without kind of like, again, deviating from anything, is to point out the fact that right here it says that based on the spotlight, it is meant to be 35%. Now that's 35% right there. Well, that on screen is 15% with the potency of the petrify. So what the heck is going on here? This is very confusing, especially because the suppressed opponent rate is meant to be 22%, and also the siphoning is meant to be 22% as well. So something has definitely happened to this. As I said, a lot of this is based on the feel of the champion to go, and a lot of people have said, we didn't overly notice it, but a lot of the times you don't, because what you do is you build up on the champion to go, okay, well, here's some debuffs, right, and I'll do an SP2 to do more debuffs, and I'll do another SP2 to do more debuffs, and throw an SP3 to give that Fury passive, and then it's a case of like, well, I'm just going to heavy attack you a load of damage, as I'm suppressing you when it comes to power, I'm suppressing you when it comes to anything else, and I'm just doing a lot of damage at the same time. But it definitely raises a lot of questions when it comes to stuff like this happening. And as Maud says here, like how does this happen? I can imagine when it comes to games development, kind of like doing something like a little bit here, a little bit there, pushes something out and changes numbers. But it's like, does this kind of like something that maybe like a new champion has come in? And this could be something to do with the champions for March. And I'm not going to like say, I mean, a lot of you know who the champions are for March because you've seen the data mined information and the leaks. So it could be one of those champions has something in particular that's a pre-fight, which then as a result has then caused like more issues elsewhere. I don't know. I don't work for Kabam. I have no idea how they operate their game and mess it up at the same time. But the long and short of it is that one player in particular was saying, I was just using Mr. Fantastic earlier today and didn't notice his kit feeling any differently, but wasn't paying close attention. And Kabam Zibit's kind of like update on this situation is let the rest of the team know so that they could take a look into this. So it may be something we look to further investigate at a later date, but definitely from a point of usage perspective, it doesn't feel, use that word, feel, that there's any kind of like difference or problem when it comes to Mr. Fantastic. I just thought I'd do a quick play test to see like how this champion is, and it seems to be fine. It looks like there I'm suppressing, and it seems to be alright. The main thing to mention with this is that when you go to the next champion, which we're going to do like a little example here, and you go to the next champion and you do your pre-fights. So you kind of go there, you then click on the champion. You then the numbers are fine. So it does very much look like there's something in the abilities that have gone askew. And especially when you come down to, where is it? There. So prepared for anything pre-fights, max 3 each. So I think it's definitely there that that there's a mistake, but it seems like the champion is fine, as many other people were saying. So if you're seeing this or seeing the numbers and it's not marrying up correctly, it does look like it's a text issue as opposed to an actual champion issue. Next up, and the game went down. Yes, a little bit of coverage right here, and I was working on other projects, sadly, when this all kind of broke. And the thing is, by the time I kind of get a video out, the game would be back up again. So like it went down for about, I think it was a good 20 to 30 minutes, and then came back up again. I don't think there was much point to kind of like doing a video. I think this did come on after the light of the issues of slowness. I've seen a lot of people say that the game now feels a little bit better on the pace. So whether or not Kabam had to do something to do some emergency maintenance and just went, yeah, screw it, we'll just off and on the game, off and on a server, and it improved everything and brought everything back stronger, better, and kind of more enjoyable, then that may have happened. But that hopefully is kind of like some sort of closure for players. If the game isn't functioning in a kind of quicker format, or how it was before, say, last week, put it in the comment section. It'd be interesting to know. I've put something on the Discord about this, trying to find out if anybody else feels that the game is still slow after the game being kind of brought down and then brought back up again. So thoughts in the comment section down below about that one. Is the game still slow? Now we move on to our final story, which covers something very, very important to a degree. And that is the state of affairs when it comes to the management and leadership at Kabam. As a lot of you know, since 2017, Kabam has been owned by Netmarble, and that was bought between $700 and $800 million back then. And since then, we've had like some really kind of like weird things like happen. Since, with Tim Fields, who was the previous CEO of the company, it has been a very rocky time. There's been a lot of success, but also there's been a lot of failure. And I'm sure that Kabam are very much aware of that. And it seems like it's good to have a new type of leadership in place, which maybe could see better times for the game, or worse times. Again, you just don't know on the quality of the CEO that you might get. But a previous Netmarble boss, which the particular person that is the current CEO at Kabam is now, as this Shungwon Lee, I want to say, if I'm saying it right. If I'm not saying it right, I apologize. But this could echo in a better time for the game, or it could echo in a worse time. We just don't know. And we haven't really felt any kind of ripple effect of any kind of great improvements or great problems. So it's still very much early days, and I don't think we'll see that until at least a good year, until the release of some key content and stuff like that. But something I may have missed off in my previous coverage of this, which I forgot to point out, is that Lee had been involved with Kabam since Netmarble acquired the Vancouver studio and most of the company's assets in early 2017, which I think was past the 12.0 issues, which, as a lot of you know, were scary as anything. But since 2017, there has been some kind of like good things and also some bad things. Largely when it comes to stability of the game, compatibility has been a massive issue, and obviously what has happened for the game in 2021 and 2020 as well, when it came to like the big overhauls and need for dev diaries and things like that, when the game was in its worst state as a whole. So there's got to be some big improvements that are definitely got to happen when it comes to consistency, improvements, innovation, controls, and so much more. And why this is all relevant right now is because of this. So Kabam have appointed a new COO, and there's been somewhat of a merger. Now this doesn't, and this maybe doesn't, and maybe does directly or indirectly affect Kabam and Marvel Contest of Champions. Again, let's kind of like try and look into this a bit more. Which is that on March 1st, 2022, so at the end of this, well, starting next month, there's going to be a merger of some description. North American Netmarble operations will now take place under Kabam. So that's going to be the that kind of pinpoints that CEO, that Seung-Won Lee, is actually going to be in kind of like control of the entire North American Netmarble operations. So it's all very weird, isn't it, when all these things kind of come together. But with one intention of the merger being to scale Kabam's ability to compete in the market. Now here's the thing, I think this is a good time. With the failure of Marvel Realm of Champions, and that's largely down to, maybe this was down to like under the CEO-ship of Tim Fields, which actually I'm pretty certain that would be. It just goes to show that you need to be aligned with what is good for the mobile market. And because a lot of the times I can't really pinpoint any good new mobile games that have been released, and that's where Kabam need to be that particular, and Netmarble in particular as well, combined to deliver the best experience for those in the US market and also Western market and maybe global market. But they've got to look at small first and how they get big, because man, there's a few new games that have been released. I mean, Mirrorverse is going to be a good game as well. Mobile titles previously bought by the studio to the Western audiences include Marvel Future Fight, Marvel Future Revolutions, blah 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 blah. And the big thing is that Seung-Won Lee, funny enough, but I'm very excited about this unification where we can bring together the expertise and resources of two world-class mobile game sibling companies, said CEO Seung-Won Lee. Now, here's the thing. Again, like, I know a lot of people complained about, oh, Marvel Realm of Champions was taking away people from one game to the other. you could be getting the same thing potentially. After the merger, Kabam will have to scale and enhance capabilities to excel in game publishing and compete more effectively in today's ever-changing market. I also believe that this merger will create synergy in the long run and expand the company's publishing opportunities. Will continue to foster a culture of empowering passionate creators to build incredible game experiences that entertain players around the world. And the new COO, which is Simon Sim, I think it is. Netmarble US former president Simon Sim will be Kabam's new COO, overseeing the Montreal Acadia, I want to say, studios. He'll also continue to lead operations of the US studio in Los Angeles and manage Kabam subsidiary Kung Fu Factory. And so yeah, it's like there could be, I don't know if this will directly affect Marvel Contest of Champions unless there's something that the Montreal studio does and Acadia Studios does, which I didn't know about the Acadia. I know about the Montreal one, but not quite sure about what the Acadia one does. If anybody's interested in what the Kung Fu Factory does when it comes to games, they're on screen right now. So like WWE Champions and a lot of other kind of games that just don't seem overly popular, but I'm sure they are. I'm sure they do, because some good money. How much money do they make? Apparently, according to this, their revenue is $23 million per year. So I guess it's fine. It was definitely not Marvel Contest kind of standards. That's like, I think the rumor was that Kabam made from Marvel Contest Champions $100 million a year. Rumor is, but I don't know. I want to say it's a bit more than that, but could be wrong with it. Either way, nothing was mentioned about how this would impact Vancouver, and I don't think it really will do. It would just be a case of like how this resource is kind of like used and kind of like floated about between different types of areas, game studios and things like that. Who really knows at this given stage? But still, yeah, this is now Netmarble thoroughly getting involved with Kabam, where in the last 5 years it hasn't really felt like that's the case. So big changes, positive or negative, what do you think is going to come in the future? Put it in the comment section down below. And it's Monday, so you know what time it is. It is time to look over arena results and do some predictions for round 2. The results are here on screen right now, and it's pretty sad, right? It's pretty sad because we have to say that 174 mil, which is rumored that somebody called, I think it's like Big Meat or something, has got 174 mil to get position 100. Again, that's a rumor. That's what I've heard, but it could be a case that the results differ. And do tune in to Marvel True Cost later on, because you'll be able to kind of get the full results of the stuff. However, though, there is this details and data right here, and we need to go over it. Thanks to Title King, and thanks to, I think it's NASA. Thanks again for pointing in just yes, I did give you a like. So let's go over the results right here. Starting with Stark Spidey, we've got 58 mil for position 50. I got the 6-star. 48 mil, position 72, got the 6-star. 16.8 mil is enough for position 201. So it means that the results for Stark Spidey is a 5-star. Man, that's going to be super low. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what that is. Summoner Trials, I've put in this because I found data 4.2 mil was enough for position 1 to 10%. I think that's gone like that's ridiculous again. Cat Wilson, 174 mil for position 100, and that again is the rumor. 58 mil position 268. 49 mil, 0.8, position 444, 5-star. Okay, so my predictions, and sadly my predictions were right, or seems to be right, but it's always very sad to kind of say 180 mil is enough for a champion. I think Kabam should look over some of the results and make sure that people aren't botting, people aren't using kind of hacks and stuff to get the arena results that they have got. So please look over that, Kabam, as soon as you can. But yeah, here, round 2 predictions are 6-star Cat Wilson sticking with 180 mil. 5-star Cat Wilson, 52 mil. I've got only downgraded by 3 mil on that one. 6-star Spider-Man, 42 mil. And because I'm really not sure about how the points, the position differ with the points from 201 down to 500, I'll say 14 mil for 5-star Spider-Man, Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. Which could be a case that you only have to put in like 10 mil. But I don't want to kind of like predict that if that's going to be the risk. We'll have to see how the results are later on. And that has been the arena predictions and results and the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. Thanks very much for supporting. Maybe another video later on. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.